Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak Up Today. I'm Jake, and as always, I'm here with the brilliant Nina. Nina, are you ready to dig into some dreams and ambitions today?
Absolutely, Jake. I love talking about big dreams and small ones too. Today's topic is super practical. How to talk about your dreams and goals in English. Jake, why do you think this is such an important skill?
Well, Nina, talking about your dreams and goals is how you connect with people, whether you're making friends, networking, or even just practicing English. Plus, it's motivating. When you tell someone your goals, you're more likely to stick with them. And let's be honest, everyone has a secret wish or two.
Oh, for sure. And I always notice that native speakers use a bunch of different phrases, not just, I want to. So, Jake, what's a good way to start talking about your dreams without sounding like a robot?
Great question. Instead of just I want, try phrases like I've always dreamed of, or it's been my lifelong ambition to, for example, I've always dreamed of traveling the world. It sounds more passionate, right?
It does. That sounds way more interesting than just saying, I want to travel. Are there any other phrases that sound natural?
Absolutely. You can use one of my biggest goals is, or someday, I hope to, or even, if I could do anything, I'd. So, one of my biggest goals is to run a marathon, or if I could do anything, I'd open a bakery.
Ooh, a bakery. Now I'm hungry. But what if you're not sure if your dream will happen? Can you make it sound more uncertain or just a hope?
Definitely. If you're being a bit tentative, you could say, I'd love to, or I wish I could, like, I'd love to learn how to play the guitar, or I wish I could speak 5 languages.
That's a good point. And what about using the future tense? Like, one day I will? Does that sound confident or a bit too much?
I'd say it sounds ambitious. One day I will start my own company. You're stating it like a fact, and that confidence can inspire people or maybe scare them a little if you say it with a super serious face.
Haha, I'll try not to look too intense when I say, one day I will own a castle. But let's get practical. Sometimes people are shy about sharing their dreams. Any advice for starting that kind of conversation in English?
Start with a question. Ask someone, what's your biggest dream? Or is there something you've always wanted to do? That opens the door. Then it's easier to share your own. You can even say, to be honest, I've always wanted to try. It feels more relaxed.
Love that. Okay, Jake, let's get real. What's a dream you've had since you were a kid?
Oh, I've always dreamed of becoming a pilot. When I was little, I'd make paper airplanes and pretend I was flying around the world. Never mind that my flights usually ended with a crash landing in the living room.
That's adorable. So, what about dreams that change over time? Like, maybe you wanted to be a pilot as a kid, but now your goals are different. How do you talk about that in English?
You can say, when I was younger, I wanted to, or my dreams have changed over time. For example, when I was younger, I wanted to be a pilot, but now I'm more interested in teaching. It shows growth, and people relate to that.
That's reassuring. Sometimes I think my goals change every week. So, what if you're still figuring things out? What's a good way to say you're exploring options?
You might say, I'm still figuring out what I want to do, or I'm exploring different possibilities. You can also say, I'm open to new experiences, or right now, I'm focusing on discovering what I'm passionate about.
Those are super useful. Now, let's talk about sharing these dreams at work or in a professional setting. Are there any phrases that sound more formal?
Absolutely. In a work setting, you could say, my career goal is to, or I aspire to, for example, my career goal is to become a manager, or I aspire to develop my leadership skills. You can also use, I'm working towards, which sounds proactive.
That's great for interviews, too. Like, I'm working towards becoming fluent in English. Speaking of interviews, what about talking about short-term versus long-term goals? How do you make the difference clear?
Short-term goals are things you want to achieve soon. You can say, in the near future, I hope to, or my short-term goal is to for long-term. Use eventually, I'd like to, or my long-term ambition is, for example, in the near future, I hope to get a certification, and eventually, I'd like to start my own business.
Nice. Okay, let's spice things up with some idioms. I always hear people say things like shoot for the stars. What are some common idioms or expressions about dreams and goals?
Oh, there are tons. Shoot for the stars means aim high. Chase your dreams is another classic. You might hear follow your passion or reach for the sky. For something more down to earth, people say set your sights on or make your dreams come true.
I love those. But let's be real, sometimes dreams don't work out. How can you talk about setbacks in English without sounding too negative?
Great point. You can say, I faced some obstacles, or it didn't go as planned, but I learned a lot, or I had to put my dream on hold. It's all about focusing on the learning, not just the failure.
That's such a positive way to put it. Okay, Jake, audience time. We've got a question from Sam in Brazil. He asks, how do I politely talk about my goals if I'm worried they sound unrealistic or too big?
Awesome question, Sam. You can use phrases like, it might sound ambitious, but, or I know it's a big dream, but I'm passionate about. For example, it might sound ambitious, but I'd love to write a novel one day. This shows you're aware of the challenge, but not afraid to share.
Love it. And sometimes it helps to add, I'm working on small steps towards it, right? It makes it sound more achievable.
Exactly. Break it down. Right now, I'm focusing on improving my writing skills. It makes the dream feel more real and less like a fantasy.
Speaking of fantasies, do you have any funny stories about talking about dreams in another language? Maybe a time you got it totally wrong?
Oh man, yes. Once, when I was learning Spanish, I wanted to say, I dream of being a chef, but I accidentally said, I sleep with a chef. Let's just say, my teacher laughed for about 5 minutes straight.
That's hilarious. I once told a group of French speakers that I wanted to kiss my goals instead of achieve them. They were very confused and maybe a little flattered.
Language fails make the best stories. And honestly, it's all part of the learning process. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, just own it and laugh.
Totally agree. Okay, let's give our listeners some rapid fire tips. Jake, what are your top 3 tips for talking about dreams and goals in English?
1. Use a variety of phrases. Don't just stick to I want to. 2. Be specific. Instead of I want to travel, say I'd love to visit Japan next year. 3. Share your progress or next steps. It makes your goals sound real and achievable.
Great tips. I'd add, practice asking others about their dreams. It's a great way to build a conversation. And don't be afraid to use idioms. Even if you get them a little bit wrong, it shows personality.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, your dreams matter, even if they sound wild. Sharing them in English is a powerful way to connect and stay motivated.
That's the spirit. So, listeners, what's your biggest dream? We'd love to hear about it. Send us a message, leave a comment, or practice your English by telling a friend today.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe for more real-life English tips and stories. Thanks for dreaming big with us.
Until next time, keep reaching for the stars and keep speaking up.